Some days at work are harder than others. Like the day when I found myself standing in the bathroom stall, 10:30 in the morning, bent over, crying from the depths of my core with wave after wave of negative thoughts. Every cell in my body wanted to go down the hallway, down the elevator, out to my car, never to step foot in that building again. It was my third week of work as a customer service representative. The first 2 weeks, I observed a coworker. This third week, I was at a desk 8 feet across in open cubicles from Sarah, my manager. My stress level was high. I was learning new complex software that seemed overwhelming to me. There were over 200 products that I was learning details about. And I don't know if you know this, but people do not reach out to customer service when they're happy. So I was navigating all of these stressors this particular day, and I get on a phone call with a customer trying to help them solve their issue, and a talk bubble, a window popped up in the bottom right-hand corner of my monitor, and it bluntly stated, this is Sarah typing, "That's not right. Look at da-da-da-da-da for the product info, da-da-da-da-da." And I was surprised. I didn't expect to get feedback in that way. It distracted me from the conversation, and now I'm trying to remember, what did I say that was wrong, and figure it out. I was very shaken by that. I finished up that phone call, and I look over at Sarah, and she's just working on her monitor. She doesn't even look over at me. I'm like, okay, I get back to work. I'm on another phone call. Second time, talk bubble pops up. "That's not right. Da 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 da. The warranty, da 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 da. More information." After the third time that happened within 1 hour, that's when I found myself walking to the bathroom in tears. Now, the way that Sarah provided her feedback was not ideal, but it certainly wasn't the worst ever. My response was much bigger than the facts of the situation called for. I was creating a negative wave because of the stories in my mind. The idea and the skill that I'm sharing with you today is related to this. If put into practice, it will transform your team, your workplace, your community group. And that skill is question your story. What do I mean by story? I'm talking about the assumptions that we bring into our conversations and into our meetings. Those assumptions about feedback and hearing criticism come from some key experiences in our past. Most likely, your first experience with critical feedback or any feedback comes from your parents. We carry in those experiences and memories. Also, in our school years, we have experiences from teachers and coaches, and how did they correct us or teach us? And then, of course, prior work experience, previous bosses and managers. Everyone in this room has a story they can tell about feedback gone poorly. That day that I was crying at work, standing there, hearing a lot of those messages, they sounded like this: "I am too stupid. This job is too hard for me. Sarah hates me. She wishes that I was not hired. I need to quit." But I didn't quit. I had some space to think, took a deep breath, and then started to think more clearly. I'm not stupid. I can learn this job. And I just met Sarah. I have no idea what she's thinking about me. Another deep breath. I washed my hands and my face and went back to my desk. I'm glad I didn't quit that day. If I had quit, it would have been a serious blow to my self-esteem, my self-confidence. Also, it would have been disruptive to the small company that would have had to hire someone else and train them before the busy season. I ended up working there for 2 years. Sarah never became that warm, encouraging manager that I hoped for, but we did have a good and respectful working relationship. At my going away lunch, I was truly surprised when Sarah smiled, came up, hugged me, and said, "I've really enjoyed working with you." I had never heard anything that friendly from her in all this time sitting beside her. During my time working with Sarah, I did learn about some of the stories she held about managing and communication in the workplace. I learned that she believed that efficiency is most important above all else. To her, texting a pop-up in the middle of a phone conversation was the most efficient way to provide information. It, it didn't occur to her that it would make my job harder in the moment or be discouraging. She also believed that unpredictable face-to-face conversations slow down productivity. And she believed that feedback is only needed when something's wrong. There's no need to waste time on what's going well. If I had been bold enough, I wish I could have put some pop-ups on her screen. My talk bubble would have read, "I would like some encouragement for all that I'm learning in this new job." And another talk bubble would have read, "Conversations to confirm understanding are not a waste of time." It is important for us to realize that everyone carries stories into the workplace and into conversations. Here's another illustration. Think about the employee that sits down at their desk, opens up their email, and there's a message at the top from their boss that says, "I need to talk to you. Stop by my office as soon as possible." If that had been my message, the stories that would have spun up as I was walking to my boss's office. Probably something like, "What did I do wrong? Am I about to be fired?" It would have immediately given me a sense of threat and worry, maybe put me on the defensive, even before one word was spoken. And then as I sat in that office, the energy I would be radiating would be closed off, not open and ready to hear. Perhaps my boss would have sensed that negative and would have decided, "Oh, this team member is unhappy, maybe difficult to work with." All of this because of stories. Our tendency is to be merged with our stories, and this blocks seeing the facts in the present moment. It also creates a really strong feeling of being right. I'm right, they're wrong. The high cost to staying rigidly merged is that we shift into that victim and blaming mindset. Communication and trust breaks down, collaboration stops, deadlines are missed, and worst case, people quit with the instability and the high cost of turnover. Before going into a feedback conversation, or if you sense tension rising in a meeting, take a moment, take a breath, and ask yourself, what are my assumptions? When you question your story, you take a giant step toward a learning mindset. Letting go provides this internal shift that creates a sense of openness. And then you're able to be curious rather than hurt, angry, on the defensive. And perhaps more importantly, this shift allows for all those attributes we want in team members. Flexibility that comes from not feeling under threat, and empathy, the ability to see the situation from another person's perspective. Think about that person in your organization that frustrates you most. I wonder how the dynamic would shift if you took a few moments to consider your assumptions. Instead of being merged, separate fact from fiction. That will help you be fully conscious, fully present in the moment, and more present, seeing and hearing the person in front of you and what's really going on. This skill will transform your team into one with easy flow of information, a diversity of ideas, higher trust, greater understanding, and a lot less crying.